Briscoe gets loose. Austin Wayne Self around. Heavy contact with the 99 of Peters, up and over. There's the replay of the accident that brought out the final caution in the wild ride endured by Timothy Peters.
It looked like the 22 of Austin Wayne Self just got a little bit loose on exit of turn number 4. Got into Johnny Sauter. Watch him get loose on the bottom. Gets into Johnny a little bit. Turns him sideways. Ben Rhodes able to get by. Timothy commits to the bottom. Austin Wayne comes down there. A wild ride for Timothy.
Johnny Sauter inside. It's 3 wide.
Forced his way to the middle.
Middle of 3. You're middle of 3. Come on, 13. You got a guy coming to you. Not over. Keep digging.
They're crashing. Rhodes into
Keep digging.
Crafton.
Damn.
Crafton up and over.
And Kaz Gralla looks to me like will win this race.
It just was a very aggressive push.
Yeah, it looked like Grant Enfinger was trying to help. Ooh, look at Matt Crafton up and over.
There's Johnny Sauter up in the middle of the mess. Grant Enfinger was pushing right there when the track flattens out.
Yeah.
Around goes the 27, catches Crafton, who thought he was home free.
Exactly in that spot where you said you didn't want to be pushed, where the track changes a little bit of that elevation.
It's nearly impossible to do it cleanly, and this is just way too much right here. Enfinger would have been much better off just to tap his partner, tap his buddy past Crafton, but he got too aggressive. It's the last lap, you understand that. But look at the impact by Timothy Peters. And look at Gralla just sneaking through that hole.
Right through the middle. And how about Austin Wayne Self right behind him? Chase Briscoe as well as Crafton goes up and over. Wow.
30-some hundred pounds of race vehicle just floating around like a feather.
Yeah, just staying up high going in the corner. He's not following the truck in front of him. Don't know what's going on there.
Whoa! Oh, look out! We got trouble. This is going to hurt. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Oh, my. Yep. Keep your fingers crossed. And this is how it all happened, Benny Parsons.
About the 6th or 7th place there. There's Jeffrey Bodine, bam, in the outside retaining wall, and watch as he tumbles down the straightaway. Now, again, right, another truck is going to come along and hit him here. Watch and listen.
Keep it behind you. Run to go.
The white flag is out.
They're going to
Sauter
crash.
with a big run. They're crashing. Christopher Bell upside down. The ride taken in the 4 truck on the outside, second in line.
Peters gets bumped.
Looks like William Byron got jumped by the 86. Look at Timothy Peters on the inside as Christopher Bell tumbles down the front straightaway. Timothy all the way to the inside of the racetrack is
Probably about the fastest part of this speedway, Phil, right out of the tri-oval.
It just starts tumbling.
That young man, with his dirt racing background, I'm sure he's had many barrel rolls in his career, but none like that.
Take a look here what happens. He's right now, he's racing in the 4th position. He looks to the inside of Todd Bodine. Todd comes down the hill, forces him to the inside. The air gets underneath the truck, turns it over 1 revolution, and then back on 4 wheels. What a ride.
What a ride. He needs to make sure he doesn't go too fast right now. He's got a flat right front tire. Check out this look. Todd just ping-ponging back and forth, Phil.
Yeah, he bounces off of that Terry Cook truck into Rick Crawford. You can see the tire mark on the right side. You see the wheel still spinning on Rick Crawford's truck while it's up in the air.
He hits the brakes there.
He was finally smart enough to let off. That's pretty. That's using your head. He's flipping over at Daytona and he let off the gas. I'm proud of him for that. going to have a flat right front tire. If he can nurse that thing back to the pits, he might be able to keep racing.
Side by side, coming out of turn number 2. Around goes the 32 and hard into the wall. Miguel Paludo hard into the wall coming out of turn number 4.
Very reminiscent of Danica's accident in the duel.
Caution comes out for the 5th time. He's the second car on the second truck on the inside line.
Wow, maybe he let off the. Maybe he made an evasive action there because of PK Jr.
Wow,
Look at the violence.
What an impact.
How violent that was.
That truck weighs 3,700 pounds, and it flies up in the air like that and catches on fire. You can see right there.
You could see PK get a little bit sideways. That's real-time speed right there.
But I don't know if those trucks make high. I know PK got sideways, and then all of a sudden Paludo gets sideways, and these trucks handle well enough. It's hard to understand how this could have happened.
Watch how close now Paludo gets to PK.
I think he just made I think the leader just got loose, and Paludo just made an evasive, a bit of a quick move, and he lost his truck maybe.
21 years old from Ohio there, that bright orange 13 had led just 3 laps before today. Spent a good amount of time out front, but now it's Grant Enfinger, last year's winner, in contact, and Coughlin goes around. Big hit for Coughlin and Fontaine.
Clear of this, but now here comes Gregson, 3 wide up the middle, and this has to be where problems started. Yeah.
Wyatt Snyder looked like he got into the back end of the 13 and spun him.
Well, what happens is that bottom lane here through the tri-oval is much flatter than the rest of the lanes going up. And when you're in the middle, you're already in a bad spot because the back end of your truck starts to want to wiggle around. But what you saw there was Wyatt Snyder was in the middle. And it looked like he came up the racetrack there, and as he went, he got loose right there, and then he just touched the back of the 13 in the right rear, and the 47 came down, and it all broke loose there.
You can see briefly up in the air was the 13 truck, and he settled right back down. The aerodynamic flaps you see on that bed, Vince, those flaps opening up, that's helping to evacuate the air from under the truck and set it back down.
Like they served their purpose.
I can see why Fontaine was slow. Wow, that was a heavy hit for him. I just think Snyder tried to get into a hole, got a little bit loose, and clipped Cody Coughlin.
Yeah, when you're in the middle like that, you know how it is, Michael. It's just you have to be so much more careful with the steering wheel and the input that you put into the right or left, because everything just becomes much easier to spin out.
Remember, he pushed Kyle Busch to the win here last year. Kyle Busch was in the truck he's driving. Oh, there they go.
Hornaday goes around. The rain cart to Kane, almost upside down, and he does go on his hood as Ron Hornaday.
There just wasn't any way.
Hornaday rolls again in turn number 1.
You said it, Michael.
Caused this to start.
Looked like the Todd got pushed by the 95 of Grant Enfinger, and it turned him into the truck on the inside of him. And then you see Ron Hornaday going upside down.
Grant was just doing what he saw there. Ooh, wow, look at that hit late by.
That's Todd sideways right there into the 5 of Mike Skinner. Mike gets into the 33 of Hornaday.
Just too big of a push. Look at the job that Matt Crafton does, sneaking around the outside.
And when these trucks get backwards, obviously we talked earlier about the spoiler being at 65 degrees. When they go backwards, it lifts that back into that truck of Hornaday up and onto its top it goes.
Plus, he was not only backwards, he's getting pushed by Mike Skinner, too.
Bobby Hamilton has impressed us all with his strategy, stuck to his game plan, and now here he is getting ready to battle for the win at Daytona.
Got a side-by-side battle for the lead. Whoa, whoa, problems early on. Chad Chaffin gets spun around and upside down. Chaffin back onto his wheels, and we were on board with Dennis Setzer.
Dennis made some contact. Looks like he was trying to bump draft him.
Let's see what happened. Looks like bump drafting might be. Yeah, Dennis gave him a little shot. Wow.
Wow, completely over. Here goes Terry. Boy, Terry had a wild ride through the grass.
Bam. Dennis right there. Give him a little shot in the back and turn Chad's truck around and over, by the way.
Wow, what a view that was.
and hit on the left front wheel, so I'm sure some suspension damage to that. Ray?